What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. As you can easily tell, I am back in Utah at my shop, already hard at work. Now Dubai was really fun, but I was actually looking forward to coming back and getting back to work. I really enjoy working and hustling. But right here behind me, we have our next project, an Audi A4. Now my client dropped this off probably a couple hours ago, and instinctively, I just grabbed the keys, pulled it in, started washing it, clay barred it and everything, started getting to work. And then I realized I should probably be filming all of this for you guys. I know a lot of you in the comments have been asking for more work-related videos. So here we are. I stopped what I was doing, grabbed my camera, came back down. So this is what we'll be doing today. So, because I wasn't filming earlier when I was prepping the car, I'm gonna kind of walk through my mindset and what I'm looking out for when I'm washing the car. So like I said, I've already washed the entire car, and while I was washing, clay barring, and drying the car, I was looking out for a few things. I was looking out for any little dents or imperfections I may have missed when I first looked over the whole car. And because it's winter time here in Utah, there's lots of salt everywhere. So when I was checking out the car with the client, I couldn't see everything. But right off the bat right here, there's a little teeny dent on this back passenger door. Now this type of dent you want to look out for. It's going to affect the vinyl a little bit because it's a recess, and you will see that through the vinyl, unfortunately. Something else that's a little bit more tricky I saw up here, this is the roof, and this is like the A pillar that goes back to the C pillar. There's a little bit of weird chipping going on with the paint, so you'll have to address how you wrap the roof in this pillar. According to that, you don't want the seams or the edges of the vinyl over those because they may fail prematurely. Something else that I noticed that's not that big of a deal, I just like to take note of it, is like little scratches like this. So this looks like somebody may have like sat or rubbed against the hood of the car at one point. Now these little scratches, I can't even feel them with my fingers, so they will not show through the vinyl when we wrap it. There's a little bit of a dent here that we'll have to address. It's gonna be tricky wrapping over this body line and then into that recess there, but shouldn't be a big deal. And then one last thing I wanna show you guys is this area right here. It looks like it was a little bit of a scratch, but it was touched up with some paint. Now, because they touched it up with some paint, it's not gonna show through the vinyl it's not gonna be as noticeable as if they didn't touch it up. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And then like right here, this little bit of a scuff mark that should not affect the finish of the vinyl at all, although you can see it plainly with the paint of the car. Once it's wrapped, it should be just fine. So I was, in my mind while I was doing all that, I was keeping notes of all the little areas that I'll have to address later. So along with looking for little dents and scratches and things like that to take note of, I also look at every body panel to see what I should be able to take off, what I need to take off, things like that. And in my mind, what I always say is like, the more you take off, the cleaner the wrap's gonna be. But in some cases, taking things apart is just useless time. Like some cases, taking the grill out of a car could take a few hours, but you can easily just tuck around it. But in this case right here, I'm definitely gonna have to remove the door handles, the actual handles and these little caps here on every door. I am also gonna be removing the window trim here and maybe the window trim that goes from here all the way back. I'm definitely gonna be removing these mirrors, also the headlights, the taillights, the emblems, the antenna on the roof. I hate wrapping roofs around antennas. I would much rather go through the trouble of dropping the headliner and pulling those out. So I'll be pulling that off. And I think that's pretty much it. Now that the initial wash and clay bar is out of the way, also a clay bar is essential for any paint protection film, well really any film that's going on the paint of the car, because you don't want to be wrapping the hood and there be like a little speck of dirt or anything that shows through the vinyl. That's never fun. You guys don't want to be going out and spending, I don't know, it's like 80 bucks on like a 5x6 sheet of vinyl to lay on your hood, and then you're almost done and you see a little speck of dirt and it ends up being easily avoided with clay barring the car. So the next step in the process is re-going over and cleaning all the panels. And this is pretty essential because even though I washed and clay barred the car, there's little things like right here, there's like old tire shine or road tar. You can see it right there. So I'm gonna re-go over the car and make sure all that's taken care of. And then I'm gonna let the car air dry. Like all these wheel wells are wet. the tires are wet, like underneath this trim is wet. So I'm gonna let all that air dry while I tint the windows. The most essential tool when cleaning and prepping a car for vinyl wrap is isopropyl alcohol right here. Super cheap at your grocery store. And I got my pack of 36 towels from Costco. So let's wipe down the car. All right, so I just did the initial wipe down with isopropyl alcohol over every panel and crevice and little crack and body line and door jamb and everything like that. Now that's just the initial wipe down. You always wanna make sure you wipe down each individual panel right before you vinyl wrap, because I let this sit for 10-15 minutes, some dust settles on it. You don't wanna just throw vinyl on top of that dust. Won't look very good. So make sure you do your initial full, very thorough wipe down with isopropyl alcohol, and then right before you wrap, say, the hood, right before it, you wipe the whole hood down with all the edges, then you wrap it, and that's for your best results. So I removed all of the door panels and all the window trims. I lightly installed the door panels back on and plugged in the window switches just so I could roll up and down the windows while I tint. Now this video has nothing to do with how to tint. If you guys want to learn how to tint, it's actually very tricky, and there's a lot of resources out there, but go ahead and go check out those videos. This video is mainly on how to prep the car for vinyl and get it all stripped down and everything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and tint these windows real quick. Enjoy the B-roll of me tinting while I go get some Panda Express because I'm starving. So to recap how to prep your car for a vinyl wrap if you guys decide to do it on your own, which I highly suggest, it's really not that hard. First step, pick a color. Second step, order it because you got a few days to wait for the vinyl to come in. Once you got the vinyl in and you wanna start prepping your car, do an extremely thorough car wash, get it in, start disassembling it, wipe it down with isopropyl alcohol, and then right before you wrap each panel, make sure you re-wipe them down and recheck for any imperfections. And those are the steps that we follow to prep this car and every car that comes into our shop for color change wraps. And I'm pretty confident if you guys take your time and make sure you follow those steps, you should get a really, really good result, even if you're wrapping at home in your own garage. Once again, thank you guys for watching another video. In my next video, which I should upload very soon, is going to be us laying vinyl on this car, hopefully from start to finish. Look forward to that next video, and I'll see you there.